Oh, well, everyone's ready. Calling the meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. My name is Chantal. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the Sergeant at Arms, and my role as a Sergeant at Arms is to call the meeting to order and to just do a few housekeeping things. So for those on the screen, welcome, and if you could just rename yourselves, you click on the three dots on the top and right of the screen, I think, and just rename yourself. And this is a very encouraging club, so for those online, and also if you like something, then we do a clicking motion. You'll see woohoo notes on the table. It's the little white squares. And I really want to encourage you, whatever you like, whatever you see that's good, please send your woohoo notes around. I love getting home and then the woohoo notes are in my pocket and I read them even a day later, and it just reminds you. So it really is super encouraging. I mean, we do thrive on encouragement. And I'm not meant to say something, but I do actually want to say to Justine, I had an interesting experience where, and for the new upcoming committee, this might be my last plug for it, but I was part of an event that I was actually the organizer, and I'm not a very good organizer. It's not a natural skill. I can naturally talk. That's what I'm good at. But I had to organize, and I just realized how much Toastmasters taught me. Because each role, each person had a different role, and we pulled together as a team instead of the organizer doing absolutely everything. And it worked so well. It went so beautifully. So Justine, thank you for teaching. Justine and everyone on the committee for teaching me how to do that. And so even being the Sergeant at Arms, like the one guy who wants to do everything is taking over everything, and I'm going to say to him, no, let someone else be the SAA. Let someone else open and close your meeting for you, because that just makes everyone's life better, and it actually makes the meeting run better that these roles are segregated. So last thing I'm going to say is the toilets are, well, just start your steps and see when you hit the toilets. It's all the way on that end of the building. And, so I must also say what the meeting is. This is our meeting, let's see, number 170.
It's actually 180. I forgot to change it. Sorry.
It's 180. And our theme is, are you running or reflecting? And I'm going to hand over to our lovely President, Justine.
Thank you, Chantal. I feel like you did a little bit of selling the exco without really doing it. Just yay, thank you. So it is our 180th meeting. Apologies, I changed everything on the agenda except for that. So we're 10 meetings behind on the agenda. And our meeting theme this evening is, are you running or are you reflecting? I'm excited to hear how some people are running and some people are maybe reflecting. And I think running can come in with a few things after the comrades this weekend. I'd like to say a big happy birthday to Chantal, who's now for last Thursday. She celebrated her birthday, so happy birthday, Chantal. And then thank you to every single one of you who have stood up here, taken the courage to give us a presentation that has come from your heart, and then marked it off, most importantly, marked it off on the Toastmasters website and gotten different levels, level 1, level 2, whatever it may be. Because with very exciting news I get to share, it's not announced yet, but I did check yesterday just to make sure, that we have reached President's Distinguished, which is top. And we've had that, I think this is the 3rd time in a row. So congratulations to everyone. And then on that note, we have some celebrations for people who have finished levels, which has helped us reach our President's Distinguished. May I ask the people I call up to come so we can just have a photo op? Who's my photographer today?
I can try.
Thanks, Sally. Eugene has completed his level 1. Congratulations. That was so cool.
A little bit closer.
I'm just handing him this very special thank you.
Another one?
Thank you. Well done, Eugene. And then our next award goes to Chantal, who has completed her level 3. Congratulations, Chantal.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you everybody for participating in, I know it's sometimes a little bit tedious going on the Toastmasters website and marking it all off, but it really does make a difference and it makes our club become a President's Distinguished Club, which is really something to be proud of. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our guests. Stephanie, you are online. Hello and welcome. Do you mind please unmuting yourself and just letting us know what has brought you to Toastmasters this evening?
Hi everyone, I am Stephanie. I'm born and raised and proud Namibian, just recently moved to Cape Town and with a lot of high ambitions on to scout on those things that are a bit limited back home in Namibia. And so this includes also Toastmasters. So Toastmasters is in Namibia, but the timings just never worked out. But yeah, if it's important to you, you will find the time. And this is my thing for Cape Town, that it's important to me. So I've always wanted to be part of the Toastmasters. I've heard only good things about it. I work in tourism. I do sales and marketing. So I do a lot of presentations, a lot of public talking. The biggest crowd I've had was actually for a social event, but was about 1,000 people. So public talking is okay. Still get nervous. But I thoroughly enjoy it. I love it, but I know there's so much to learn for public speaking. And this is why I'm here for, is to see what else is out there that I can learn from and pass on skills to whoever.
Amazing, thank you. And I mean, if you are getting nervous, that means that you care. And I think all of us stand up here and we still get nervous because we care. Yep. So when you start not getting nervous, then maybe there's something to look into.
Exactly.
I don't think so, I know. Well, welcome and welcome to Cape Town. Are you within the Sea Point vicinity?
Sorry?
Are you in the Sea Point vicinity or whereabouts are you?
I am in Constantia at the moment. Yeah, so hence also the virtual version, because my work only finished late 5:30 and I was like, online.
For sure.
Which is great. Thank you for online.
Oh, no, pleasure. And I don't want to get rid of you. I love you being here, but there are other clubs closer to Constantia side if you want to have a look at those. We can chat afterwards and you can have a look if it's a little bit closer to where you are.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being with us. We love having you. And then I'm going to go into the room. I'm going to start with the two at the back who are avoiding me. But before I check in with Manus and Robin, I just want to give you both the biggest thanks for everything that you do for our venue, or creating this venue for us. It really is amazing. Your staff are so kind and so accommodating. I feel like I'm constantly asking them for things and they just go off and they do it. So really, really, thank you so much for hosting us. We really appreciate it. So who would like to go first? Robin, it's your second or third time with us now?
I think it's my third time. Okay. Should I sit? What should I do?
Whatever you feel comfortable doing.
So, like some of you guys know, I am Robin. I'm working in the people department, which is called HR in the corporate life, but the financial hotel, the people department.
Okay.
I'm in the admin side of life and the training development side of life. So, at first, I was dragged to the club at first. And I was like, what the hell? What are you doing? And whenever the opportunity comes that Board is announcing I'm holding a meeting at this Toastmaster and Chris, which is the custodian of the property. And you're going. I'm like, dude, it's a choice. You know, and I know people are always telling me, Robin, you just like, Justine always like, Robin, we need talking. And I'm like, it'll come, eventually it'll come, but yeah, I'm happy to be here. And thank you for always having your arms open wide to welcome myself and Martinus to just sit in, to listen, to engage, even though we're not speaking as yet, but soon we will be speaking. But yeah, thank you once again.
Oh, it seems like you're so terrified of speaking, but do you see how you stood up there and spoke with such confidence?
Yes.
So well done.
Okay, Okay, so I'm a person of few words. I'm more of an observer than a speaker.
I can
But I'm
relate.
the food and beverage manager here at Peninsula. So in our terminology, it's the F&B lead. We're not managers, we're leaders. Yeah, and thank you very much for having us here, part of the group. I mean, it really, for me, it's a first. I mean, I came from a small town in the middle of the Cedarburg. So I mean, for me, Toastmasters is really something new. So that's why I'm not talking as yet. I'll get there as well. But, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Manus, you've already shared something about yourself. From the Cedarburg, you shared, so thank you. Thank you both of you. And then I'm going to go to Simon, who is a second-time guest and Christina's husband. Simon, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm Christina's husband. She invited me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you have to come.
so here I am. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And supporting her for her icebreaker.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good.
And Simon, when you were last here and when you're here now, I'd love to hear your feedback. I don't know if you remember when you
I do remember.
Yeah. You can maybe give us some feedback.
I was here in December, I think.
Okay,
Once.
December, yeah. Give us some feedback as to how things are, if you've noticed any differences,
Okay.
any growth. Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome. And then Murray, welcome to you. What has brought you to Toastmasters?
Thank you. Evening, everyone. My name is Murray. I have two friends that have come to Toastmasters, I think, over the last 6 to 12 months. And I wouldn't say that they were particularly nervous in front of crowds, but they just kind of explained how much benefit it's brought them all, how much more comfortable they feel in front of crowds, and how much better they're actually doing at work as a result. So I'm not terrified in front of crowds, but the heart rate goes up, the hands get sweaty, and I'd really like to become really good at standing up in front of crowds. It would benefit me at work a lot, and I think it just would help from a confidence level, being able to stand in front of a crowd comfortably and confidently. So looking forward to it.
Great, welcome. So Murray is friends with Alex and Ant. So that's how he has found us. And already you're speaking beautifully. So now it's just about standing here and making the stage your own.
Sure.
Okay, well, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Jackie,
Hi.
welcome. Great timing.
Thank you.
I'm Justy.
Hi,
We've
Justin.
chatted.
Yes, we have. Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, and welcome. What has
Thank
brought
you.
you to Toastmasters?
Yeah, so I've just caught the tail end of your little
Yeah.
conversation, your speech, and for me it's quite similar. I'm a coach. I work with women in their 40s, 50s and beyond, dating post-divorce. And what I'm going to be doing is, a lot of my work is online, but what I'd like to be doing is hosting in-person events as well, because I really thrive on the energy.
Yeah.
So my aim is to be able to speak, whether it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and really optimize the time so I deliver maximum benefit. So it's about practicing and refining and constantly improving my offering.
Yeah,
that's what brought
amazing.
me up.
This
Thank
is
you.
the place to be.
Perfect.
Especially if you're here for time. You'll hear from Sally, our lovely time. We're quite strict with time.
Perfect.
Great, well, welcome. And
Thank
you
you.
for being with us. Chantal touched on it slightly in the beginning, but June is our last month for the Toastmasters year. And as of July, it's a new Toastmasters year. It means nothing really to anyone. The dues are due in September, so that's slightly different. But what it does mean is that there's an opportunity for current members to serve on the Exco. And I promise you, as Chantal said, this is where the growth really, really happens. I haven't done a lot of speeches, but my growth standing here every single meeting has changed drastically. And as Murray said, seeing how it can change in your workplace is also quite amazing. So leadership happens in the Exco, and it's a great way to learn how to navigate obstacles that might come. And it's a safe place where we practice, and then you take that into your workplace where you can then get it right. You can make mistakes here. It's okay. It's all about learning. I ask that if anyone would like to join the Exco, to please come to me and just have a chat. Let me know which roles. I know this is sort of gibberish to you right now, but what sort of roles you would like to take on. and we can chat about that. And then we would love to welcome you in to the new Exco as of July. Okay, that was just my little sales pitch. And then please, if I ask you to all stand, all of you online, please unmute yourselves. And we're going to raise a toast. And our toast is to South Africa and all her speakers. To South Africa and all her speakers. I want to wish all of our speakers, we've got an icebreaker tonight, so all of our speakers, all the very best of luck. To our role players, you've got this, you're going to be great. And I now have the honor of handing over to a very seasoned Toastmaster, Claire, who's going to guide us through the evening gracefully and wonderfully. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you very much. I am very excited about being here again in front of you and not on the screen with my normal, where my normal position is. We're going to try and sort out for the online members to actually be able to see us, because when you just hear and you can't see the rest of the room, you don't really feel connected to it. So we're going to sort out something so that you guys can actually see the rest of the room. Running or reflecting. Now, if you are running like Alex does, you're running for a good reason. And I was chatting to him before we started the meeting, and one of the gentlemen in Japan, he thinks, got 72 kilometers before the catch a car caught him. Isn't that fantastic? In like something like 5 hours. That's really productive running. But then there are some of us who do a different kind of running. We're not actually running towards anything, we're running away from something. Can anybody relate? Oh, it's just me. Oh, great, I have 3 friends. Oh, 4 friends, yay. It's not just me. Sometimes we're like, I can't do that. But actually, we have tremendous skill and talent within us. And that feeling of wanting to run, just sit with it for a moment and go, if I did do this, what's the worst thing that could happen? Now, for those of you in the room and online, what are the 2 things that people fear most? Public speaking and? What's it? Death. No, it's actually not death, it's spiders. We would rather die than speak in public or face spiders. So now we're all doing that. So we are like, seriously, we're like champions. We shouldn't be running from anything. We should be running towards stuff, because we do it every time we come to Toastmasters. So hopefully, if you're not convinced yet, but by the end of the evening, I hope you will be, because otherwise, if I haven't convinced you by the end of the evening, then I really do fear that I have not been very persuasive. Right, so our meeting follows a very structured agenda so that you can go to any Toastmasters club in the world and you know what to expect, which means that you can immediately feel more comfortable while we do our table. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry.
You're going to be impromptu.
Yes, exactly. So that you feel immediately comfortable, because you know what the structure is. You might be in a room full of different people that you don't know yet, but you know what to expect. And so when I was in Pole Toastmasters, we had a gentleman come from Canada. He walked in the door, he didn't know anybody, and he immediately said, is there a role you need filled? Where else would somebody walk into a room with people they don't know and immediately offer to assist? That's because we follow a structured agenda and you know what to expect. So you can step out of your comfort zone a little bit more. So I don't know why I like that word so much. It really is quite useless. It's just a filler. We have role players. So I'm a Toastmaster. for the evening, along with my fellow Toastmasters in the room and online. We have a timekeeper. Timekeeper is Sally, but before I forgot to say something. We have two little railway lines here on blue on the carpet. So any speakers, if you could stay within this area, it means that our friends online can see us. And also we have 2 speakers on the floor. So if you need to speak, change direction of speaking, please aim it towards where the speakers are. Otherwise, online don't necessarily always hear us well. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. And also to help our friends online feel like they're in the room with us, this is where they are. Here. Not there. I know we're going like, but I'm talking to Julia, but she's in there. She can see me. I don't need to see her. It's more important for her to feel connected to me. So that's really something important. And you think, what on earth am I going on about? I've been on that side, and feeling disconnected is not so cool. Not so lekker. So help me to make our online friends and Toastmasters feel really part of this room. And now I will stop about that. So Sally, if you could please come up and explain your role, please. Okay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and wonderful guests. So nice to have you all here. I have the amazing role of the timekeeper this evening. And for my role as the timekeeper is to monitor the time that each person takes to speak. It's not as scary as it sounds. It's really the long-term game. If you want to do this professionally, the time counts. But while we're in this room, it's a safe space. If you go over a minute, it's really just, it's like teaching your kids to brush their teeth. You just do it every night because you want the long-term game. So timekeeping is really important when it comes to speeches. You've all been to that wedding where they go on and on and on. And we just try and like get it into a thing. So for prepared speeches, which we have 3 tonight, the green light, which I'm going to try and be fancy with the light, but I've got to back up old school. The green light will go at 5 minutes. The yellow will go at 6 minutes. And when you see the red, it means you've reached the 7-minute and you need to wrap it up. With Christina's icebreaker, she gets a little bit less time. So she will have the green light at 4 minutes, and she'll have the yellow light at 5 minutes, and she will wrap it up at 6 minutes. So you've got a little bit less to fill the space with, which is nice. And then when we come to table topics, which is a fun part of the evening for guests, where you come up here and you impromptu speak, and you speak from the heart, and there's no right or wrong, and it's just liberating and energizing and the most fun part of the evening. You've only got to do it for 2 minutes. So I'll hold the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1.5 minutes, and the red will come up at 2 minutes, which means you're done, you're over, you can run away. And then for the evaluators, I will show the green light at 2 minutes, the yellow light at 2.5 minutes, and the red light at 3 minutes. So also evaluators, nice and short, you don't go on and on and on and on. So it makes our evening more enjoyable and your experience lighthearted, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you. And at the end, I give all the reports, which you'll see me again.
Wait.
Oh, Tata. Oh,
Yes, stay. Why do we do this?
For love.
Yes, I love you too.
It's for formality.
Yes, it's for yielding the control back.
For when we're in the corporate and the fancy world.
And also, we don't want to leave our online friends without somebody in front of the camera.
Oh, yes.
So that's so these are all silly little things, but they're really important because it's training us for when we're in another environment. And so that's what Toastmasters is really doing, is it's helping us prepare for these opportunities that we get to speak. And instead of running away, we go, yes, sure, I'll do that. Help. And that's why we make sure that we're here, and obviously the applause until the person reaches us here. And well done, Sally. Next on my list, this on-off glasses thing. The counter. I know. That's what an counter does. Starts from the minute the meeting starts, making his notes. Because how irritating is it to listen to those politicians with all their things and all the other people who use all these filler words, instead of just taking a breath, pausing, and then continuing. So, there we go. Another one, number 10 probably. Quentin, if you could please come and explain your role for us, please.
Good evening, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Tonight I will be the counter. The role of the counter is to count these crutches words as well as filler words that are used by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for these overused words and well, but, so, and you know, as well as the filler sound like And I will also note when a speaker repeats a word in order to, or a phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each person used these words, filler words, and crutched words, and use these expressions, sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, we're always learning. And we left school like a long time ago, but we're still learning. We still have to check in because sometimes really bad language creeps in and we want to eliminate it because we want to speak that we're actually adding value. We have Talisha, who is our grammarian and our listener, going to be checking that you're paying attention.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian tonight, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And I did have a word, but Eugene suggested a better word, so thanks, Eugene. Today's word of the day is momentum, which I think is quite fitting for the theme as well. So momentum means the force that keeps an object moving or keeps an event developing after it started. An example of the usage is we continue to build momentum in our quest to grow our businesses. So you'll hear from me later this evening as well for the grammarian's report. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Why, if running, not the kind of running on a road or somewhere to get somewhere, what would be the opposite of that? If we're not running, then we're reflecting. And what does reflecting mean? It means that we are thinking deeply and carefully about what it is we're experiencing, what opportunities lie ahead of us, what blessings or lessons, because sometimes really tough stuff happens. But it's amazing how when we dig deep, sit with those feelings, what we realize, this wellspring within us of courage to face the tough stuff, those challenging things, because actually the growth that comes from facing those tough times is actually amazing. And you then see the blessings and lessons in things that are tough to face. So tomorrow actually is exactly 1 year when my mom passed away. And I was at an online meeting on Friday, and one of the people who's in my business network, we each got an opportunity to share what it is we do. And after I'd spoken, I was the last person because I happened to be hosting the event on that particular day. And he said, I actually want to give a testimonial to Claire because what she's sharing, I actually witnessed it in a moment when it would have brought me to my knees. I would still be crying about it. But she actually faced it. She didn't miss any meetings. She was there. And a few days after a moment passed, she was speaking about it without breaking down. And that would not have happened any time past 5 years ago. It would have completely annihilated me because it's the one thing that I have feared my entire life. But everybody dies. Yeah. But from the age of 6, I thought my mother was dying imminently. And that's a pretty scary thing when you're 6, because security and all that kind of thing. But the work that I did helped me face that. And so in those difficult things, doing that work ahead of time meant that I could be there for her in that time without adding my anxiety to her situation. And that's one of the biggest gifts that we can actually give somebody, is to just hold the space for them. And so that was really a beautiful, I didn't even think anybody he'd noticed or whatever, but it's amazing how we actually inspire others when we have courage. And so that's really the difference that I'd like to leave you with in terms of between running and reflecting. Because be there for yourself, be there for others who may go through something similar and realize actually there's an opportunity for courage there. Where are we on time? So a quote that I really, really like is one from Napoleon Hill. I don't know if any of you have heard it before, but it came in one of the first books that I read, which was Master Keys to Riches and then Think and Grow Rich. So this comes from Think and Grow Rich, but it wasn't in the first version that I read. This particular version was in the 1937 version, which I only read a couple of years ago, and suddenly the light bulb went on. I was like, man, this could have saved me a huge amount of time if I'd had this version in the book I read, because I completely missed the point of the other book, but I'll show you now, tell you now. So in that book, on page 29 of the 1937 version, which is now in the digital domain, so if you want a copy, let me know. William Henry wrote, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Because we have the power to control our thoughts. And he said the power, the ether, which really is the subconscious mind, makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive thoughts, running, and constructive thoughts, reflecting. It will translate into physical reality, thoughts of poverty, just as quickly as it will thoughts of riches. Our brains become magnetized by the dominating thoughts which we hold in our minds. These magnets attract to us forces, people, and circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. So Claire read that, well, didn't read that version, but the book kind of alluded to it, and completely missed the point. I spent 27 years focusing on what I didn't want, trying to run from that. Instead, what I was doing was actually running towards it, because what you focus on, you create. It's as simple as that. If you don't remember anything else, please remember that. So focus on what you want and not be fearful. Beautiful, beautiful quote. So we have that opportunity. And here at Toastmasters, we're running towards and embracing and reflecting on what we're learning and growing in that way. On that, we have speakers that are doing presentations. And we get the opportunity, as Justine said, to give them additional feedback in terms of the woohoo notes. Our first speaker will be evaluated by Tabang. If Tabang could please come and, oh, she's online. Online. Awesome. Yay, there you are. If Tabang, if you could please read the criteria for Christina's presentation, please.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Tonight I have the absolute privilege of evaluating Christina's icebreaker speech. This is the first speech for the evening. It's going to give our speeches momentum. Christina has chosen the pathway presentation mastery. And Christina is keeping things simple. She's looking for just 3 aspects to look out for, that she's clear and understandable in the way that she's speaking tonight, that her English is good enough, and that the audience is engaged, and she's keeping them captivated throughout her speech. She's aptly titled her speech in relation to tonight's meeting theme, so I'm looking forward to that. But the purpose of the icebreaker is really for the member to introduce themselves to the club and the club members, and to learn the basic structure of public speech. So I'm wishing Christina Thomas all the best. Christina Thomas, the long run, Christina Thomas.
Thank you, Tabang. That was a beautiful introduction. Thank you very much. I learned that from Julia. She always does it, so I do it as well. My name is Christina. I'm 51 years young. And about 16 years ago, I moved from Germany to Sea Point. Actually, I came to Sea Point, the beautiful suburb of Cape Town. And every morning I went down to the promenade to enjoy the sunshine, because believe me, when you come from Germany, you want to see the sun in the morning. So I lived close to the Sea Point pool, and I walked down there and enjoyed the sunshine. And I noticed something else. There were people, lots of people, running, right, left, center, jogging, walking, fast walking. I mean, just moving. I thought, wow, Cape Townians are sporty, outdoorsy. I mean, it's like, wow, it's impressive. I mean, tall people, small people, fat people. I mean, everyone was just moving, sporty looking in those lycra and nice things. So I thought, okay, I want to fit in. This is my new country here. Maybe I should start running. Maybe I should become a runner. There was just one problem. I wasn't a runner. I had tried before. I mean, probably many people have. I mean, running is simple, you just go like this and you run. So I tried before, but I always thought, no, I'm not a runner. Every time I run, I get stitches, get out of breath. I feel like death warmed up, So, but I thought, come on, you have now the sunshine. You want to be outdoors. You don't have an excuse that the weather is bad. So, and you have the time. Why don't you set yourself a challenge? And my challenge was, I want to be able to run from Sea Point Pool to Moye Point Lighthouse. That's about 3 kilometers. So I was quite motivated. I thought, okay, let's go. So I started Sea Point Pool. Thought like after 500 meters, no, this is hard. My breathing is like, I can't run. I've proved now I cannot run. I said, no. Quiet your mind. Just keep going. One step in front of the other. Just keep going. Even if you walk in between, do it. So I persevered. It took me about 6 weeks to run the complete stretch of 3 kilometers. Not fast, but I ran. Didn't walk, I ran. So I thought, well, if I can do this in 6 weeks, what would I be able to do if I gave myself a year? Could I do further than 3Ks? Could I do everyone dreams of doing a half marathon. Would that be it?
So I thought, okay, come on, let's keep the momentum going and do it. Just give it a year and see where you will be in a year. So this is where the journey started. It started from a 5K race to a 10K race. I finally managed the half marathon, very exciting. Then, of course, there's always more, what comes after. So there was a marathon, or an ultra marathon. I ventured into triathlon. I did some Ironman events. And I did the 13 Peaks Challenge. Maybe some of you know that. And that finally brought me to the big C.
Wow.
So, does any one of you not know what Comrades is? I don't think so. About 3 years ago, I did my first Comrades. Comrades is it's the biggest, it's the oldest ultra marathon in the world. 2 days ago, I lined up again, it was my third one, with 3 of my best friends, 2 of them doing their first ones as well, so I inspired them to take the first step. Let me take you to the start line. So, 5:30, Pietermaritzburg, freezing cold. So we stand there and you're excited, you're a bit intimidated, you think, okay, it's going to be a long run. It's 90 kilometers from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. But the atmosphere is amazing. 22,000 runners around you. They're all standing like this. They're all going like this. You look into each other's eye. You see the fear a bit, the intimidation, but also the excitement. And then they play the national anthem. And I mean, I'm not South African, but you just sing it. Then Shosholoza comes in and you just sing it as well. I mean, it's really, really, really amazing. Then the gun fires and we start running. And we just run. And the spectators, the support you get from your fellow runners is amazing. You have your name on your bib. Everyone shouts your name. Everyone's like, Christina, Christina. I mean, I felt like Gerda Stein. I felt like a hero. I mean, I was definitely not going to be on the podium, far away from that, but still was an amazing experience. And what running really taught me is what we mentioned before. One little step in front of the other. Start with one step and do the other step and do a bit more. And focus on the long run. Focus on your long time goal. You will get there if you just keep the momentum going, keep going, and do what you like and do what gives you joy. So that's this is actually the tiniest medal ever for such a big race, but that's why I'm very proud. Not that I have done it, but all 4 actually of us. We were in a group of 4, crossed the finish line. And it was just an amazing experience. And it taught me that you just have to keep going. And with a lot of grit and resilience and a lot of heart, you will make it. Thank you very much.
So you get a standing ovation because of your icebreaker. It's a little tradition.
I won't get it next time.
Well, if you speak to us nicely, you never know what you can organize. But well done. Congratulations. Awesome. And with Toastmasters, it all starts with your icebreaker. But for some people, it starts before that, when they volunteer to be a table topics speaker, because that's really where most of us, I think, started. There's little steps that lead to bigger achievements. Our next evaluator is Anna. If you can please come and give the criteria for Alex's presentation.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm evaluating Alex Genscher's speech this evening. So I'm really looking forward to listening to his speech or hearing his speech. His previous speeches have been so inspiring. He is speaking, or his topic this evening is breaking barriers. He's level 2, effective body language. So I will be looking out for body language and how well he connects with his audience. And it's his second speech in the presentation mastery pathways. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
So Alex Dessler with Breaking Barriers, Alex Dessler. Sorry.
Don't time him yet.
I gathered that. Stop.
Sorry, your Zoom master's sleeping. Sure. I promise I know how to share a screen. Yay!
Here we go.
Yay! Sorry.
No, thank you very much. Nelson Mandela used to say, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. This photo shows Sir Roger Bannister crossing the finish line of the Oxford Athletic Track on 6 May 1954. Who is Roger Bannister? Roger Bannister was a very talented British middle distance runner. His talent in running gained him a scholarship at the Oxford University, where he studied medicine. Soon he became not only a good student, but also an excellent runner, and he qualified for the 1952 Olympic Games, where he competed in the 1,500 meter. He had, unfortunately, a bad day, and so he finished what sportsmen and women call actually the most ungrateful position. He became fourth, exactly. Missed the podium ever so slightly. And he was very ambitious, and he returned home from the Olympic Games without a medal. Now the next Olympic Games were just 4 years away. So he figured out he needed a new goal, something to focus on immediately. And at this time, it was believed that it was physically impossible to run 1 mile, so that's 1,600 meters, under 4 minutes. Scientists and doctors agreed that the human lungs just wouldn't have the capacity to provide enough oxygen to sustain the effort. And if you would somehow manage to get enough oxygen into your system, your body would heat up during this effort so much that your blood pressure would rise and you would basically explode from within and die immediately. Sounded like a great challenge for Bannister. So he set out to become the first man to finish 1 mile under 4 minutes. He found a coach that believed in him. He started to question the beliefs that were around because he was also studying medicine. And so he started off, but after 1 year, he was still far away from reaching this barrier. Self-doubt kicked in and he was about to finish his efforts. But then something happened which echoed around the world. Sir Edmund Hillary in 1953 reached the top of Mount Everest, the highest peak on Earth. And it was also believed that this is physically impossible. This achievement gave Bannister the right motivation to continue his efforts and to prove the world that he could do it. So in 1954, a year later, 3,000 spectators and, quite remarkable for the time, also a camera team of BBC, gathered at the Oxford athletic track to see his record attempt. And it was a very tight race against time. And it wasn't really clear if he would be able to make it. And only on the last meters, when he crossed the finish line, the photo that you see actually here, it was clear he has broken the barrier. 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. He had done it. A new world record and a remarkable achievement in sports history. But what is actually really much more remarkable is what happened afterwards. No, he didn't die. Just 1.5 months later, another runner ran the mile under 4 minutes. New world record, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. And just within the next 2 years, more than 10 runners finished the mile under 4 minutes. So what was meant to be physically impossible before was somehow now possible. The mindset has changed. The mental barrier was actually broken. Think about how often we face barriers in our own life, be they big or small, where we think it's impossible to cross these barriers. Financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. Are those barriers just in our heads, or are they actually real? Are they holding us back, or are they there to be broken? Think about your own fear of public speaking and how it felt when you did your first speech here at Toastmasters, when you broke that barrier, and maybe what you have achieved thereafter. So barriers are out there to be broken if you only believe in yourself. Like Bannister has done on that day, the 6th May 1954, on the Oxford athletic track to inspire other generations of runners. It always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you.
It's amazing what nonsense people can come up with and what we can't do. But actually, we can literally do anything we set our minds to, because it's just a belief, and a belief can be changed. Like, I could never speak in front of public, in public. But hey, Toastmasters helps us do that and helps people around the world do that every day. Just about what we believe. Thank you very, very much, Alex. Our next evaluator is Michaela. If you can come and give us the criteria for Eugene's presentation, please.
Good evening, everyone, and guests and friends. I have the delight of evaluating Eugene's first speech in level 2, so congratulations on finishing your first level. And the title of the speech is called Headhunting with Clay, excuse me. And the whole purpose of the speech is for Eugene to find a different way to communicate his ideas. He'll be taking us through a presentation, and the gist of it, anyone in this room needs to be able to understand a complex idea and broken down, and basically for him to keep his personality throughout the whole speech. But I'll be listening out for all of the above, but I'm sure you'll do just fine. You've made it this far, and know you feel great. So good luck. Thank you, Jean. Head hunting with Clay. Eugene, head hunting with Clay.
I'm just going to share my screen. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. So, what if you could find your ideal customers at any given point in time, just when they need your product or your service? Today, I want to introduce you to a tool called Clay. It is a really impressive tool that is currently disrupting the marketing and sales space. And this speech, or the next few speeches I'm going to give, is in preparation for what we call the Clay World Cup, where we determine who the best in the world is at using this tool. And at this scale where basically one person with this tool is able to do the work of 15 salespeople and 15x revenue for each and every business that implements this tool. I'm happy to report yesterday I was at the South African qualifier event and emerged as the best in Africa. And we'll be going on to the world stage and as one of the top 32 GTM engineers in the world. So I'm looking for really good feedback on my presentation skills and showcasing this tool as I, over the next few rounds, try to showcase my expertise. So what I've done here is I'm first going to introduce you to the tool. After that, I'm going to show you one of the most impressive use cases that I've used it for. So imagine if for Toasted Toastmasters, we wanted to find every single leader in Cape Town who has an interest in public speaking. So this tool has like CIA grade intelligence. And what I've done here is I've basically put in here, I want everyone who is an owner, a partner in the C-suite, a VP, basically anyone in senior leadership in businesses across Cape Town. So I put in my location filter in here, so South Africa, and then city is Cape Town. And then keywords on their profile, I'm looking for anyone who says they're a public speaker or who has an interest in public speaking. And here I have found 1,200 people. And here I will import into a new table. Now, the cool thing about this is there's so many things you could do. Once you have this information, you can find each person's mobile number, each person's email address, work and personal email. You could use an AI agent within this tool to research everything about them, what's the name of their dog, stuff like that, if that's publicly available information. And the tool is just a tool, but the application that you could use for is endless. So imagine if you owned a dog company and then one of the people you're tracking has a dog who's just died. How impressive would it be if you could get a notification at such an important moment and then be able to send them some condolences or something, like a gift or something? They would love you for life. So this is how companies across the world are doing marketing way differently. And it is quite scary that what this tool is capable of, but it's also really exciting. So on to headhunting with Clay. Let me show you one of the recent projects that I used Clay for. And it involved poaching some of the top lawyers in the USA using this tool. So just a bit of background. Who here in the room has seen the show Suits or Billions? So you know that space, right? You know how fiercely competitive it is. But one thing we all know that they go after each other's clients, but another thing that they do is go after each other's top lawyers, because when a partner moves from one law firm to the other, they take their entire business with them. And then this is also a very highly secretive operation. So you can't go broadcasting, hey, I'm looking to get lawyers from this firm into this firm. And you have to be very targeted with it. And the most common reasons why lawyers might move firms is they're unhappy with the compensation, with the career growth, with work-life balance, mentorship, culture diversity, whatever. So now that we have a background, I'm going to introduce you to who I did this for. So I'm working with a headhunter whose client is this law firm in the US. It is one of the top 100 law firms. And then what's happening is they are currently expanding their mergers and acquisitions, private equity, and tech practices. So they are seeking partners from other law firms who have experience in these fields and will be able to bring in the businesses from these companies. So it's basically a covert operation to find to find some of the top lawyers in the world and get them to move firms and then bring all of their clients with them. So like I said, it needs to be very, very targeted. So what we did was we used Clay to find some of the top lawyers in the US. Try to move this. Yeah. Used Clay to find the top lawyers in the US, found their emails, researched based on certain metrics, how probable it is that they're going to move. And well, some of the other stuff that one of the most important parts is we were able to research their bio and see a history of all the, here we go, a history of all the types of clients that they have, all of the type of deals, and then cases that they've handled and won successfully. And we've been able to narrow down to the ideal type of lawyer that we're looking to target. Now, at this stage, what we need to do is find them. So there's a lot of info that we gathered with various AI agents. So we've researched the profit that each partner makes for the current law firm, how many people are in the law firm, the revenue per lawyer, and then also categorize each firm. So there are certain types of firms that aren't really desirable with the lawyers in there. And so we wanted the top 100. So all of that research was done with this tool. And then because we're going to be calling them, we also had to determine the time zone. So we used an AI to research what time zone they're currently in. And so now what we have is a list with the top lawyers in the US, where they're located, their mobile numbers, and then what time zone is appropriate to call them. We also have analyzed their bio to see exactly what type of law they practice, what clients they've worked with in the past. And so, yeah, we have 810 people that our headhunter is going to be contacting in order to facilitate a move to this new law firm. So this is phase one of the project. And I think this tool can do is find the exact ad ID. You know, when you say, I think my phone is listening to me, it's because you have an ad, you have an ID that all these platforms use, and then they know everything about you. And so if you like dogs and someone is selling dog beds, you're gonna get that ad. So this tool can give you the ad ID, and you can run ads to specific people based on whatever, because you know what you know who you're targeting. And so the next thing we did was so we have all the law firms, and we have determined by going to Glassdoor. Glassdoor is basically how employees review companies. So we have scraped each company's Glassdoor page, and then we are looking at what the general sentiments are around work-life balance, around compensation, all those pain points that I listed earlier as to why a lawyer might move firms. And then we have gone into, this is called Lovable. It is an app builder, but you don't need to write code to build it. You literally need to just feed it data that we've got from this tool. So we fed it this data, and it's a bit rigged. And then we'll serve this to these lawyers as ads, as phase two, and then like I said, it is rigged. And then what the lawyer can do is come here, put in the current law firm, the location, what type of firm they want to work at based on size, and then they can decide what is important to them. Is compensation more important? Career growth, diversity, culture, environment, so whatever it is, and then select the current practice area, finance, mergers and acquisitions, and then we say find my match. But like I said, this is a marketing campaign. It is rigged to always make the client the preferred the preferred match. And then what it does is it tells you factually that this is the best firm for you because based on the Glassdoor reviews, they offer better work-life balance, which is, you said, is important to you than your current firm. Yeah. And so this is one of my favorite use cases of this. The possibilities are endless. You could find your ideal customer profile, find everyone in that ideal customer profile, find the mobiles, find the emails. If you have really good salespeople, you can cold call, you can run cold email campaigns, you could send ads to them directly. And marketing used to be, let's go into the population and see who the messaging resonates with. But new age marketing is, let's go directly to who will buy what we're selling. Thank you.
That's one thing I love about Toastmasters is you come to a meeting and you have absolutely no idea about certain topics that you didn't even know about, that there existed. And we have all these amazingly talented people that come and share and open up doors to things we didn't even know existed. Who had any idea that that was even possible? Nobody. Wow. Scary, but wow. And well explained in a short amount of time. So good luck for your challenge that you are taking part in. And please let us know how you do. But it's absolutely fascinating what opportunities there are out there. And instead of running from them, run towards them, reflect, learn, and grow. Our next speaker will be evaluated by Sally. So Sally, if you can please come and give the criteria for Andrea's presentation, please.
So I'll be evaluating Andrea this evening, and she is on level 3 and always does incredible speeches. So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to be evaluating tonight. She's asked to see if she's kept us hooked, which I think she always does and always will. Mm-hmm. And I have and if the topic was interesting and inspiring, and of course, whichever evaluation is for, is to where she can improve and what we would, our suggestions for her, which is an amazing part of Toastmasters, is to get safe feedback. And obviously the vocal variety and all the other things that go with speeches. So, and her speech this evening is called The Mantis and the Movement. So without further ado, here is, do I go back to you? Sorry.
Yeah. Andrea Baptista with The Mantis and the Movement, The Mantis and the Movement, Andrea Baptista.
It's the mantis and the moment.
Then we got movement in our head. Word of the day, sorry.
A few weeks ago, my entire family decided to go away for the weekend. Beautiful chaos of 3 sisters, the husbands, the grandparents, and all the children, 6 of us, 6 kids in total, ages between 3 and 16. We laughed, we cooked, we compromised, because when you have 3 sisters in a kitchen and a dozen opinions, you can imagine compromise is inevitable. Do you know, there was this fly that kept buzzing around our heads while we were cooking. Very, very annoying. And it gathered momentum before we could even swat it away. It was really irritating and disturbing and irritating our every moment. Eventually I murmured under my breath, die when you fly. I just can't handle this anymore. Wished it away. But you know what? I was far too busy to deal with the fly, to try and wrestle it and to try and find it to kill it. I had bags to unpack, kids to manage, peace to keep, because this is what I do. I fix, I manage, I control. I make sure everything is in order. But life, in its quiet brilliance, had something else in store for me. It was late afternoon. The sun was setting low. The house was quietening down. One of the kids shouted, "Hey, come and have a look at this." And there on the windowsill was the most magnificent praying mantis, the insect. Somebody asked me, what's a mantis? Long limbs, light green in color, and looking oddly beautiful. We all leaned in a little closer, curious. And that's when we saw it. That fly. Remember the one that I wished away earlier? Trapped in the mantis's claws, wings pinned tight. And not just trapped, it was being eaten. Head first. And slowly and methodically, the mantis was sucking out its brain. And if things couldn't get any worse, it twitched. The thing was alive. I immediately jumped in. We've got to save this fly. My other sister, are you crazy, Andrea? Let nature do its thing. And the other sister whipped out her phone and started to record. This is incredible, she said. 3 sisters, 1 gruesome moment, and 3 completely different reactions. I wanted to save. The other wanted to let nature take its course. And the third sister wanted to simply capture the beauty and the brutality. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, what would you have done if you were there? Would you have leaned in a little closer, looked away, or squashed them both? There's no right answer, but perhaps there's something to be said about how we reacted towards it. That moment stayed with me a little longer. We were all watching the same thing, yet we experienced something completely different. Why? Was it just that we were looking at it through a different lens? The more I thought about it, the more I reflected on it. One sister was surrendering to what was, that life and death unfold without our permission. The other was simply observing, looking at the moment, surrendering and recording the beauty. And me? My need to save the fly wasn't really about compassion. It was more about discomfort. You see, I didn't want to see it suffer. I didn't want to see it being tortured. I didn't want the little kids to see its brains being sucked out. But what if the lesson isn't about fixing and saving, but rather about letting go? It made me wonder, how do we all move through this world? You know, some of us rushing to fix in every situation. Others allow what is. And others are so busy reacting to the situation that we don't stop enough to pause and to reflect. That day, a fly and a praying mantis reminded me that we can't change everything, every situation that is happening, but we can change how we meet it. This is where our power lies, not in control, but in our response. See, the mantis didn't care what I thought. It was just merely doing what it was designed to do. Nature is sometimes cruel. Sometimes people do suffer. And sometimes things fall apart in front of our very eyes and there's nothing we can do but witness it. Maybe you've experienced it too. Perhaps it's your teenager that suddenly stops sharing things with you. And all you want to do in your instinct is to pry and to dig and to ask questions because you just want things to be the way they were. But what if real courage is about allowing space? Because love is not always about control. Maybe it's your colleague at work that's doing something inefficiently. And you know what? You always do it better than they do. And you just want to jump in and change it. But what if it's all about letting go and allowing and observing and practicing patience and leading differently?
Or maybe it's that relationship that you're gripping on tightly, that marriage that you know you're not happy in, and you just can't let go, because if you let it go, it's going to fall apart. But what if the real thing is about letting go and allowing and growing and allowing new opportunities to come in and meeting new people? You see, the truth is, we cannot change everything. We cannot fix everything. We cannot rescue and save everybody. But when we cannot change a situation, we are invited to change ourselves. This is where our power lies. Dr. Wayne Dreyer once said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And that is where everything changes for us. It starts with a thought. Your thoughts change your experience, and your changing your experiences change your world. So next time you feel the urge to jump in, to rescue, to save, stop, pause, and ask yourself, is this my fly to save? Or is this my moment to allow, to surrender, and trust life unfolding? Because it is not about control, but in the grace of letting go. And when you operate from that space, your world can change, not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it. Thank you. Wow. Fantastic. Love it, love it. Life is always teaching us. It's just all about how we look at those opportunities, and especially when we're challenged. That reflection really brings out exceptional moments. Thank you very much, Andrea. Now, time for the Timekeeper's report. Sally, if you could please come up and share that with us.
So this evening's times are Christina, 6 minutes and 31 seconds. Well done. And Alex, you were 6 minutes and 18 seconds. And Eugene, a good 10 minutes and 22 seconds, but very interesting, thanks. And Andrea is 7 minutes and 36 seconds. Well done to all.
Next, we are going to vote for the best speaker. If you can take out your phones and scan the QR code and quickly vote for the best speaker. I'm just going to grab mine quickly. Sorry, mine is just taking a little while. No, you can't see who I voted for. Everybody done?
Struggling with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I just use my mobile data. Regarding the interval, we are 19:36. Okay, so we're exactly on time. Sure. Hey, wow. That's the goal of the Toastmasters, to keep the agenda on time. It's an interesting little juggle. Our break will be until 6 minutes past 8. And if everybody can please be seated at sort of about 4 minutes so that we can actually start exactly at 6 minutes past, that would be very much appreciated. And for our friends online, are you going to create a break? For online, Justine will create a breakout room which you can chat amongst yourselves. And obviously, if you want to go and grab your dinner and bring it to the breakout room and enjoy it with the rest of the members online. Thank you, and see you at 6 minutes past 8.
The food is outside. So she gives lots of warnings.
Start coming back now.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the break, Julia. And I'm just going to be handing over straight to our Toastmaster. To our Toastmaster.
Yes, but don't go too far. I hope our friends online enjoyed your break and the chat that you had. We had beautiful mild curry, which was really nice, and lots of scintillating discussions and conversations. Next, we are going to be doing the table topics section, and I would like to ask Chantel to come up as the table topics mistress. She's having a moment of a chat there.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Interestingly enough, I've only done very few table topics, and I've resolved to change that because I've been in quite a few situations where I've been put on the spot and I froze. I'm under the impression that my brain is not, I didn't think I froze as much when I was younger. I'm not quite sure. Still working on that theory. But the point being, I want to encourage everyone to do table topics because it does affect your career. I was thinking of all the quick answers I had afterwards. So this is where you really hone that skill. For the new people, we want to encourage you to do it. I think I said to, he's left now, I said, I look at Toastmasters as like a fail forward kind of situation. You know what I mean? Just carry on going, learn from your mistakes, and get more and more comfortable as you're up here. I'm going to be switching it up because a lot of us have been doing this for years. So to make it slightly more interesting for us, I've decided to do a bit of a debate situation as well as a straight table topic so that the new people can also get a taste of what table topics actually is. I've got some volunteers here already, and I'm going to be asking Eugene and Rochelle to come up. Is that okay, Eugene, or do you need a bit of a break? Okay, so this is the debate. Is Rochelle online?
Yes, she's there.
Are we going to be able to do that, or should we do two online? I'm wondering if we should do Julia and Rochelle. Julia, are you up? Are you up for it? No? Yes, you're always up for it. I'm thinking the two of them online, would that work better? Do you think?
I think so.
Okay, I think that would perhaps work better for you guys. Okay, so sorry to throw you in on it because we. But I want to see. Julia's. Can you hear Julia?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be debating. You get 1 minute each, and the topic is talking about problems is good. Who wants to be for and who wants to be against? Or should I nominate? You can unmute yourselves. Sorry?
I like to be against.
Okay, Rochelle, you are for, and we're going to give you 1 minute each. Sorry?
Can you repeat it once more, please?
So you just
are going
to be giving. You're going to be giving an argument for and against, 1 minute each, and your topic. So Rochelle is for, and Julia is against, and your topic is talking about your problems is good. Talking about your problems is good. Rochelle is arguing for talking about her problems, and Julia is arguing against talking about problems. Are you ready?
Yes. Who would like to go first? Well, who's going to go
Rochelle,
first?
I really want to know why it should be a good thing to talk about problems, because I don't see any reason to talk about problems, because I'm a positivist and I think we only should talk about the good stuff.
Okay. Wait, are we starting already? I'm still trying to think about things here. So it is important, I think, to talk about our problems. Just because, when you talk about your problems to somebody else, someone feels comfortable enough to relate to you and to talk about their problems to you. You never know what somebody else is going through. And it's interesting most of the time that when we do talk about our problems, it's amazing how other people are going through the same things that you're going through, and you can relate on that level. And by opening that up and giving yourself a safe space with friends to talk about your problems, you open up safe spaces for other people to talk about their problems. And you don't feel alone. We all have problems. And yes, I agree with you that you should be positive and optimistic. And I'm a very optimistic, positive person. But the reality of life is hard, and we all have problems, and we all just have to be able to stand together and support one another and be there for each other. So I think it's very important to talk about our problems with each other and just to motivate each other and, yeah, just be there for one another.
So part of this debate, I'm going to be giving each person a chance for a rebuttal. Julia, you have a chance for a rebuttal, and so does Rochelle. Over to you, Julia.
I'm not sure what this is, but I just make something up. So Rochelle, Rochelle, you said something very interesting, and what you actually just shared with us, it's so boring. We know this all. Yes, of course, we have to talk about problems. And then we all go through similar experiences. I get it. But let's think out of the box. Let's think, what can we do different than talking about problems? It's the same with the news. We hear all the time these problems in the world who eat us up in our minds. Our mind don't know if it is real or if it is make up. So this means if I feed my brain with problems, and please don't come to me and feed my brain even more with problems. I've got enough from those. So I invite you to share the good stuff. The good stuff in a way of, hey, Julia, I don't have problems. I have challenges. And even better, I went through so many stuff that I only have for now the solutions I can share with you. So I love the idea, Rochelle. You come to me and say, Julia, I love to share solutions with you, because I think then we can create something what is workable in the whole world.
Thank you for that, Julia. Rochelle, would you like to answer Julia's particular points, or give your last option for rebuttal?
Sure, 100%. I don't think it's boring talking about our problems. That's where you get to know each other on a personal level, and you get to realize that we're all human. And how are we supposed to find solutions if we don't talk about our problems? We need to talk about those problems in order to find solutions to those problems. So if you find a safe space in talking about those problems, yes, it is negative, but you can turn it into positive once you have a group of people or a friend or anybody that you can talk to about your problems. You feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable, to talk to them, and to find a solution to fix those problems. And again, you're not alone. You have people in your corner that are there to help you and to figure out those solutions and turn it into a positive. But we can't get to the positivity without sorting what the problem is. We got to get to the root cause in order to find a solution.
Wow, ladies. Thank you so much. You both have given me much to think about, and both really, I thought, a good debate on the pros and cons of talking about problems. So thank you so much, Rochelle and Julia. That was great. I'm over to our next contestants or next debaters, which would be these.
Kwame's online.
Okay, I'm wondering if you can do. Is there another person online?
Tabang, Stephanie.
Tabang,
Yes, Chantal?
are you happy to? Because there's another person online that Kwame wants to do a debate. Are you happy to go in a debate?
Yes, sure.
I think it's easier if both of you are online. Would that be
Yeah,
good?
sure. 100%.
Is Kwame there? Kwame, are you there? You put your name down for a table topic.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I'm throwing in the deep end. He wasn't maybe. Oh, sorry. Kwame, are you happy to do a table topic?
Yes, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, fantastic. It's slightly different to how our table topics usually run. We're doing a debate format. We're doing a for and against. And this topic is confronting issues is a good thing, an argument for that, or an argument against that. And who would like to take the for and who would like to take the against?
We'll go for 4.
You'll go for 4 and then...
I'll be against.
Tabang is for against. And who would like to start?
Yeah, can you just repeat the topic again?
I will read the topic again. It's all about reflection or running. So that's why this is the theme for tonight. The topic is confronting issues is a good thing. Confronting issues is a good thing. For and against. Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
In a peace. In a peace. Give me peace any day. I will run from confrontation any day. I am not a confrontational person. For me, if I can find peace in the rationale, I can rationalize the situation in any way that gives me peace. I will do that any day. Some people, it's not worth it to go into the boxing ring with them and try to wrestle matters in inner peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Tabang. Over to you, Kwame.
I believe in confronting issues head on. Life is tough. Life is about facing your fears and coming up with solutions to make sure that you're able to overcome them. I don't believe in the life of the ostrich burying your head in the sand, thinking everything is nice and blissful, only to wake up one day and to realize that there are your problems staring you in the face. I believe that just as people drink their sorrows away and they wake up in the following day to meet their problems, I believe that those temporary solutions don't bring permanent relief. I believe that it's important to face your struggles head on and tackle them once and for all. And it gives you so much peace when you've moved on from a problem that you know that you faced it, and then you say, I came, I saw, and I conquered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kwame. Back to you, Tabang, for a rebuttal on those points.
Have you seen the hair strands on an ostrich? Oh, so beautiful. Because it buries its head in the sand. It's not about to sacrifice that beautiful hairstyle in a confrontation. For me, I feel like any day that you can save yourself and live to see and live to tell the tale is a good day. You get into that battle, you could die and not tell the tale. So where will you be, Kwame?
The gauntlet is thrown down, Kwame. You need to answer.
I will say that I would rather live in the wild and hunt for my food than to be caged and be given small pieces of meat. It means I'd rather be in the field to fight my battles and win big. Thank you.
Wow. Well done, Kwame.
A definitive answer from Kwame over Tabang's very descriptive rebuttal. Thank you so much. Amazing. You guys are so amazingly well. And thank you for entertaining us. My word, my mascara has run. Thanks so much to the online people. It was really, really fun. And I'm going to take it back to the room now. So I've got one more topic in the debate format, and we've got Eugene put his name down. And then you said that you would like to, Jackie. Did you? Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do the debate, or would you like to do a normal table topic?
Can I do a normal table?
A normal table. Okay. So who? I don't. Options are. Okay, Talisha. Talisha and Eugene, come up. I think you guys can use, both of you stand here. So I can go sit down helpless with laughter here. Your topic is running away can solve problems. For and against. Running away can solve problems. For and against. So who wants to be for? Eugene wants to run away, and Talisha is going to be facing them. Okay. Whenever you, who wants to go first? Eugene. Over to you, Eugene.
Okay. So there's this saying that whatever you focus on expands. So I don't want to expand my problems. I want to go straight to the solution and ignore the problem. So what I do is, if there's something in my life that isn't working or that I don't like, fine, acknowledge it, but then look at the other end of the stick. Every subject is two subjects. So this is the problem. What is the solution? Then forget the problem and focus only on the solution. And the problem will disappear because you're not giving it focus, you're not giving it attention, so it will not expand. So that is literally how to do it. Is ignore the problems, focus on the solution.
Thank you, Eugene. Over to you, Talisha.
So Eugene, it's an interesting approach. Although, if you don't focus on the problem, how are you going to find the right solution? So I think focusing on the problem is one of the most important things, because you need to be able to define your problem correctly in order to find the correct solution. So I guess in a technical space, you want to analyze complex problems to find the right solutions. So I think you need to face your problems head on, get deep down and dirty with them, be comfortable with them. Otherwise, if you find the solution, how are you going to know that it's the right one and that the same problem won't come back again? Or someone else might have the same problem. You don't know if you've addressed it correctly, and your solution might not fit their problem. So I think you should definitely dive straight in to your problems, understand it, and come out with the right solution.
Thank you, Talisha. Over to you, Eugene.
Well, you make a good point, but I would say don't focus on it. Maybe peek at the problem and then see, okay. Okay, this is the problem. I've seen it for 2 minutes. I've seen enough. Now what is the solution? What's the opposite of this problem? And focus only on that. I think if you get down and dirty with the problem, you're going to keep it going for much longer than it needs to be. So Just peek at the problem, 2 minutes, move on, focus the rest of your attention, 98% of your attention on the solution that the problem has pointed out. It will be automatic. Like if there's a problem, you automatically know what the opposite of that is, and then focus on that, and then that will expand. The solution will expand by getting down and dirty with the problem. We'll get it. We'll get the problem to gain momentum.
Hey. Thanks, Eugene. You said the same thing though, but it's fine. It's okay. What you're proposing is you want me to take a little bite out of a big pizza. And someone who likes pizzas, I want to have the whole thing, not just a little bite. So I say, give me the whole pizza of a problem to solve the whole problem, as opposed to the little bite that you're wanting me to take.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel so far we've had some good advice and some questionable advice from our contestants, but thanks for being such a good sport. And now I'm doing straight table topics just so that everyone in the room can also have an experience of that. What? Are we over time? Okay, should we do another one? But Jackie wants to do one, but she's never done one. So she needs to hear. Okay. Quinton, you put your name down? Yes? Oh, you put your name down? Maybe.
Maybe.
It's a nice one. It's not going to be a conflicted one. It's literally a... Yeah. Okay. The question is, what has been your best reflection? Okay, over to you. I'll repeat it again, just give you a few seconds. What has been your best reflection?
What has been my best reflection? I think there was a lot of reflection after my accident, and I spent a lot of time thinking about what mattered to me. Not only about what I'm doing, but also about how I'm doing it. And I've realized that, for example, climbing, of course I enjoyed, the outdoors and all of that, but also it was the problem solving, the community, being, with friends outdoors. And I found that you can't, and thanks to that reflection, I found that you could find other aspects, like cooking. You get to experiment, and you get to do that for other people. So yes, that's probably my best reflection. Thank you.
So I think that's all from me. Apparently we've run out of time. I'm handing over to our Toastmaster of the evening, Claire.
I will keep my remarks short because we all want to be able to get home on time. Please can I call for the time of the table topics, please, Sally.
It's a bit different this evening, so take it that 2 people doing it get 4 minutes, okay? So the first 2, Julia and Rochelle, got 4 minutes 22 seconds. I'll look at them here. And Tabang and Kwame got 2 minutes 36 seconds. And Eugene and Delisha got 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And Quinton was 55 seconds.
Well done. The next part is the one where we can all learn, and that is the evaluations of the speeches. So the first evaluator is Tabang. If you could please give us your evaluation of Christina's presentation, please.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Christina Thomas delivered the long run. What an incredible icebreaker. I think, Christina, you delivered your icebreaker in an engaging and captivating manner, with great English, and you were very clear. We were able to understand and be with you at every step of your speech. You had all the elements of a great speech. You introduced us to who you are, the setting in which you got introduced to running. Your speech title was relevant to the theme. You had the necessary vocal variety. You used your hands well, your gestures. You had great command of the stage. You used humor, as well as figures of speech, like when you said you felt like death warmed up. The experience of comrades that you shared, it was current, just having happened in the last weekend. But not only that, it was also inspirational. Those things I think you excelled at, and that made your speech great. But also you are also just a pleasant person to listen to. There's a number of things just one thing mainly that I would like you to work on, which is really to try and use pauses a lot more. Pauses provide your audience with an opportunity to take what you've just said to them into consideration. And it also gives structure, a clear separation between your introduction, the body of your speech, and the conclusion. So that's something that it's probably related to pace. And so to challenge yourself is really just to slow your pace a little bit so that we can be, with you, and use pauses. They're quite powerful in getting the audience to be where you are at and take in what you've just said. But otherwise, well done on that fantastic delivery. It was a great icebreaker speech. You have a natural way of telling a great story in an engaging way. And even with the props, I mean, that reveal to show us the medal, that was fantastic. So I wish you all the best, and I think you've really done a fantastic job with your icebreaker. Well done, Christina.
Next, if Anna could come up and present the evaluation of Alex's speech.
Well, Alex, what a brilliant speech. You really had us captivated. So, I've made a few comments, or I've made a few notes just to remember everything that I want to say to you. Basically, your opening remark, that the sentence that we all know from Nelson Mandela, is helped us to just remember making the impossible possible. So that was a wonderful intro. Your strengths, you had great eye contact with the audience. You had a great stage presence. You walked around. You commanded the room. You kept us captivated. And you had put effort and thought into your speech. And we really noticed that you had practiced for the speech, and it shows. And it was also very interesting, the stats and the rich history you shared with us. And you built momentum with your story. You starting with this runner who wanted to break the 4-minute record, to many others running 1 mile under 4 minutes. And you also weaved the story back into our lives and showed us how we can build momentum to achieve great things financially and physically. The areas to improve, I would maybe suggest just to change your vocal variety a bit, more ups and downs or more highs and lows, and to maybe end with a more powerful thought. But in summary, it was a brilliant talk. And in closing, I would say, if you set the lesson that I took away was if you set your mind to something and believe in yourself, nothing is impossible. It's all in the mind. So well done to you.
Next, if Michaela can come and deliver the evaluation of Eugene's speech, please.
Eugene, well, I mean, if people are speaking about your speech in intervals, you clearly had an interesting topic. Don't know whether you scared majority or you made a lot of us think. So well done on trying to unpack such a complex tool, first of all, and then trying to make it into a topic and then trying to make it digestible for everyone to understand. I mean, your personality, you have such a candid humor that just comes through. I don't think you even intentionally try and do it, and I think it's such a win for you, so never try to shave that off. And it was great how you started with a question. Although it was a bit of a complex system at the beginning, you tried to make it relatable with Toastmasters. I think you targeted the dog thing about me, so I mean, that's 5 brownie points, well done. And it was really cool how you actually showed the tool and was able to go through and engage it. It wasn't like a thing where someone will consider and be like, is this real? You actually showed it was real. So I think that was a really important step into that. How you repeated yourself. It was saying how these kind of searches can help you get X, Y, Z and go further. And you kept tucking into why you're using this tool, which again, I think made people a bit more edgy on their seats, trying to be like, why do you need this tool? You have the confidence, you know it, you understand it, but to unpack it, sometimes you need to step away from the passion and perhaps flip it on its head. You're not selling the tool, you're selling time and you're selling saving money. You are basically targeting people on how you want to do those things. So rather than showing how you can get so much data on people, being like, look how much time and money I can save you. And I think that would help you a bit more with your clay championships, I think is what you called it. So don't go too much in detail about your reasoning on why doing it. State fact, clear, I want to win the clay championships. And less is more. I know where you studied, and I know those slides would not go down well. Take away the text, take away the stock images, because you can speak it from the heart, and I think you'll be able to break it down a bit more further. And like I said, it was really cool how you could show and go into the integration, but it maybe got a bit confusing and a bit scary on your nerves to try and remember to go into that button and do this and do that. So maybe a screen recording could work. But then again, people might be skeptical. So it's always a tough line to balance. And then how you brought into the question, have you, if any of you watched Suits or anything, try and bring that in sooner and give these people personas and being like, you know how much money those people deal with daily. Don't you want to save that kind of money? So go back to flipping the story on its head, and rather than try and show the complex idea, break down the concept. But in summary, I mean, I already told you, put a pin in it. We want to talk about it afterwards because very, very interesting. Hugely complex to try and not scare people and to confidently have your thoughts a bit more coherent. But overall, I think you got people engaged and interested. So very well done, and welcome to level 2. Thank you.
And our final evaluator is Sally. If you can come and present your evaluation on Andrea's presentation. You want me to be timer?
No, you can. Or just maybe I have the privilege of evaluating Andrea, and for me, you always excel, but the one thing you excel the most in is storytelling. I just wanted to have a fireside chat, and I can imagine you, if you ever need another job, you could just be you have an incredible talent for storytelling. I love the way you said, I fix, I manage, I control. You just bring us right into, I could feel wherever you were staying, I could see your sisters, the the speech being family orientated, it was very identifiable. I could see you all there, the sisters, the children, the kitchen. I think it was an away place. It wasn't didn't belong to any of you. And the fact, and then the family dynamics, you could feel it with the fly irritating you and not bothering other people. It was just really beautifully descriptive. You were very descriptive in your words. Your voice is calm. You bring us. You could almost smell the cooking, and I could see the kids running around. And I kind of felt you were in Arniston. I don't know why, but I just felt that for your words. You did all the right things as far as I'm concerned. You bought the fly was the beginning, and you brought it right back when you discovered the praying mantis, and there the fly. But you kept the suspense going because we weren't sure what was going to happen to the fly. So it was excellent. You brought a quote in, which is always incredible and something to cling on to. Unfortunately, I was a timer and I'm really ADD, so I can't remember the exact quote, but I do know the quote and I love the quote. And that you reference it is amazing. What else did I say? So for me, the things you may want to work on is, I don't have any suggestions because I loved your speech. But maybe the one thing, if you ever had to make a speech, you'd have to work on that because you're a great storyteller. But these days, speeches are stories. But I think if it was Toastmastery, it might have to be more speech-like. But I prefer a storytelling style. So if anyone has any woohoo notes to give Andrea on feedback, please give them to her because I just didn't see anything that I would say I could work on. Your challenges, I would say, like mine too, is pauses. Because you're in the story, it flows so beautifully, but there were so many like magical moments that you could have paused on and let us reflect, because there was so much. I was busy writing, but I was in the story, but I wanted to be in it a bit longer, but I was trying to what was the quote and what was the, and I wanted to be in it more. So the pauses wouldn't have gone amiss as far as I'm concerned. Again, you don't have a big stage, but if I had to say, you could probably move a little bit more. But again, it was a fireside chat, so I didn't mind that you didn't move. I liked the push and pull through the whole story. It was like what was going to happen. You just had it there. And my two cents was this Verity Price, watch the space, because Andrew is coming up. And I can really see you going from strength to strength in this space. You've got an exceptional talent. And what I took away, and the thing I remember, the sentence I remember out of all the sentences, allow what is. And that is what I'll walk away with this evening. Thank you.
There was a little book when I joined Toastmasters called The Toastmaster Juggles Many Hats. Came to mind, because we often do that. Then, time for the evaluations. Please, Sally, when you're ready. Why is timing so important? Have you ever gone to those events where they run horrendously over time and you wonder, when are we going to get to eat? When are we going to get to go to the toilet? When are we going to get to go home? That's why we train one another.
Okay, so who was the first one? Tabang, eh?
Yes.
So Tabang, full disclosure, I forgot to time, but I guessed it at 2 minutes 12 seconds. And Anna, you were 2 minutes 22 seconds. Michaela, 3 minutes 25 seconds. And I think I saw on my phone I was 3 minutes something on mine. But thank you.
Yes, timekeeping.
You must sign up for roles that you're not strong at. So
Exactly. We don't. That's the one thing that we learned. Well, you learn early on in Toastmasters. We don't do the roles because we know how. We do it to learn, and that's the same in the leadership as well. You take on those roles so that you can learn what to do. Next, we're going to vote for the best evaluator and table topic. So if you could take out your phones and scan the QR code, and vote quickly, please. Thank you. Everybody done? Need any more time? All right. Next, Quentin with the counting. The nervous laughter.
Okay, so tonight I was our counter, so I was counting the number of filler words used as crutches or expressions used during speaking. I'm not going to go in step by step because we've only got two minutes, but I want to start with a small quote that I read that on average people use about 9 filler words per minute. Sure. So we've been here for 3 hours, so we would expect a lot more and filler words than actually have counted. Just for interest, I've counted just over 50 about 35 so's, and 31 repeats, which was top 3 across all the speakers. So not that many when you look at the number of speakers that have been presenting tonight. I just want to go very quickly through a couple of things I want to call out. The first one on Alex, Christina, Andrea, and Anna. All of you have counted very few R's and so's, so very good. Just 1 or 2 repeats, but overall very little notes on that point. One for me. Yes, just on Taben, just wanted to share, there has been, I've noted a few when you're speaking, and I think it's when you are focusing on saying something precisely. And I think maybe you might benefit from focusing less on actually what you're saying, but more on the message, and I think it might flow a little bit better. You see my own note, take it or leave it.
Thanks, Quentin.
And sorry, I can't read my notes. Yeah, and then otherwise, yeah, Michaela, just a couple of repeats. I didn't count any and so on the speech. And I had Eugene as well. Someone. Yeah, and Eugene, just a note. I've noted you seem to say and so together. That just might be something to be aware of. But otherwise, very good and very interesting speech. So, yeah, thank you very much, all.
Fleeing the stage. Next, to check our listening skills and our grammatical skills, Talisha.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the amazing speeches. I must say, I think the grammarian role is one of my favorite roles because it's a lot to do with the listening, and I must say I'm a better listener than I am a speaker. So, first of all, on the what? Sorry, that's my Your mom. So yeah, on the word of the day, well done to everyone that used it. I've got Tabang that used it once, Christina twice, Andrea and Eugene used it once, and Anna used it twice as well. So well done. I'm not sure if I missed anyone. If I did, I apologize. Then there were so many good quotes and quips that over the evening that I enjoyed. So I'm going to try to do it very quickly. But Claire, I don't know if it was intentional or accidental or if it was a slip, but you said blessings.
Yes,
blessings plus lessons. Great. I love that one. I'm a master of my fate, the captain of my soul. That was really good. Christina, feel like death warmed up. Let me take you to the start line. It was very descriptive. I felt like I was there. Keep the momentum going, grit, resilience, and heart, and you can get it done. Alex, sorry, hope someone stopped counting the ums. Alex, it always seems impossible until it's done. That's a quote to remember. Other things is tight race against time. Wow, this is bad. Mental barrier that was broken, and barriers are out there to be broken. Eugene, I was too busy focusing on your presentation to pick up anything that you were saying. I was just listening to the tool and how it works, so I was absolutely floored by that. Andrea, always love your speeches. Weave simple moments into you weave simple moments into spectacular stories. Things like beautiful chaos, 3 sisters in the kitchen, and a dozen opinions. I fix, I manage, I control, I keep everything in order. Sucking out his brain, that was very descriptive. Beauty in the brutality. And the grace of letting go. That's definitely what I would walk away with. And then on the table topics, Rochelle, open up safe spaces when you talk about your problems so you don't feel alone. And then Julia, Julia, you have a very specific way of speaking. I call it Julia speak. So thinking out of the box and eat us up in our minds. I'm not sure what was. I got the gist of what you were saying, but I think the grammar there maybe needs to be revised a little bit. But feed my brain even more problems. That was, I like that one, but it was classic. Kwame and Tabang about the ostrich and burying your head in the sand. That was great, and in a piece. And then Anna weaving the story, and Sally fireside chat was really good. So thank you everyone, great speeches.
What a wonderful evening. Has everybody gone away with, learned something that they didn't even know about, that it even existed, or a thought? Anybody not gone away with some amazing, amazing information? And that's really what Toastmasters is about, helping us explore new territory, facing those challenges, not running from them, but actually running towards them, embracing them, reflecting on what we've heard from other presenters, what we can learn. And that's where the evaluations really help, because even when we haven't presented, there's always something for us to learn, because we listen to that speech as well and we go, oh, didn't think about that. Oh, I can add that into my speech or the way that I deliver a presentation next time. I still love the fact that we can do this hybrid so that our members from elsewhere are able to join us and participating. It was excellent, Chantal, to have 2 people that are online speaking to one another, and then obviously in person it made it a little bit easier. And what new challenges are you going to take on? What situations are you going to approach differently? We've had everything from praying mantises and flies. I don't think any of us are going to look at a fly in the same way ever again. And when you said your speech, I thought, be careful what you wish for. Because if you remember what you wished for. And yes, your presentation about play, I was like, play? But amazing. And as I say, scary as well. But just how things are changing. But public speaking is still an important skill. And I hope that those who have come to join us for the first time, that we will see you again. And we've had lots of food for thought. And I now yield control back to our President, Justine.
Thank you, Claire. Claire, thank you for conducting this evening with such grace. You really are such an inspiration to all of us who would love to be Toastmasters one day. And I think it is just such a nice example as to how we can especially keep this space open so that our online members and guests aren't left alone. So thank you. And I'm sure we'll all be thinking of you tomorrow on your mom's. I can't believe it's been a year.
I know.
It's crazy.
Just gratitude, absolute gratitude.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned it, but I mean, I haven't walked this journey with you, but I just know it was quite astounding to me because when Claire's mum passed away, it was like how many weeks later you were standing up here and speaking so bravely and so courageously. I sat there going, oh, how is that possible? Because it is. It's a fear that we all face of our parents passing away. So thank you, and my heart will be with you tomorrow. And focus on what you want. I think that was such a big statement because it is. We constantly, well, I can speak for myself here, but we are constantly in our heads about what's going wrong, what's not happening, and we actually need to be more mindful on focusing on what we want. So thank you, Claire. A big round of applause. Christina, congratulations. It's your icebreakers complete. Well done. I loved how you started your speech with, I'm going to do 3 kilometers or however many meters it was. And I was like, oh, maybe there's hope for me. I'm not sure. A 5K is not something I'm going to be doing. But I love that it was relatable for someone who does not run and is terrified of running. But also I've got funny body type. So it tells me, my physio tells me I can't do all these things. So I'll take that. But it was just really nice. It's a great excuse. It was nice inspiration to know that it's possible for anyone here who is maybe not even a runner. So thank you for sharing. And again, congratulations for Sunday. That is such a great achievement. So well done. And then Alex, I loved how it was sorry, that's not kind, but 2 runners after each other doing their speeches. So thank you for sharing. And again, barriers are there to be broken if only you believe in yourself. I was like, wow, because again, it comes down to that thought pattern of, I'm not good enough. Why did I say that? I should have said this, or whatever it might be. So it's about breaking those barriers. So thank you for reminding us of that. Eugene, I'm terrified of what's happening on the screen. You are definitely the tech whiz in Toasted. Definitely. So well done. I'm sure your clay championships, was that it, or World Cup? World Cup, Clay World Cup. Please keep us posted on how it goes. But there's definitely, I feel like Eugene is a good person to have in our back pocket if we ever need to suss someone out. Quickly just see, what is Clay saying? That's even not. What is Clay saying about this person? Are they legit? So thank you, Eugene, for sharing. And then Andrea, again, so descriptive, and just like I was completely in that kitchen with you, watching the fly. You paint such beautiful pictures in our minds. So thank you so much. And again, just reminding us that we can change the situation. And it comes back to our thought processes. So to all of our speakers tonight, congratulations. You all were amazing. And I cannot forget our lovely role players. And Sally, I'm so sorry because you were timer and I know you were stressed about timer, and I suddenly today was like, Sally, you're evaluating. So I'm really sorry. I should have taken on the timer role, but I will learn from my
now know
lessons.
what it feels like to be you. That's
multitasking. You did a great job of multitasking, so well done. And Quinton, our counter, first time.
Yes.
Well done, amazing. And then, our evaluators, grammarian also, great. It's always nice to hear all these things that people say and all these little words of wisdom that come out of the evening. So thank you, Talisha. And the evaluators, sure, you guys just do such a great job. Every time you are teaching us, even though we're not speaking, you are leaving us these little nuggets of wisdom that we can then take into our speeches going forward. So thank you to all of you. I'm going to start with our awards before I check in with our wonderful, beautiful guests. But before we do the awards, Christina, I'd like to please invite you up so I can hand you this beautiful icebreaker ribbon. Show off your comrades everything. There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you. Well done. Okay. Right, multitasking. Here we go. So awards time. We have first got our table topics awards. And it's a little bit different tonight because we actually had 2 winners, exactly the same percentage. So drum roll, please. Oh, thanks for your patience. Rochelle and Julia. Would you like to unmute and let us know your 2 cents, your claim to fame? Or not?
Thanks, everybody. That's very cool. Julia, that was a very hard one to be against, though, but it was a good try.
No, I think I'm a super salesperson. I sell you everything. I'm very convinced about this, and I thought like, oh, okay, I have to rock that. But Rochelle, please, everyone, I really love solving problems. So, and I think it's very important to talk about this. So thank you, Rochelle, to actually sharing it.
Thank you.
Oh, well done, Rochelle and Julia.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And then our next table topic winners are Kwame and Taban. Kwame, you were completely put on the spot there, but it all paid off. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I must say, I just finished rocking my baby to sleep, and I was put on the spot. So,
well, you did an outstanding job. Congratulations.
I think you had great expressions as well. So you must be well read. It came through.
Thank you.
Well done, Kwame.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, Taban.
Yeah, you had a great play, you two.
And now we'll do our best evaluator for the evening. Will you please be
No,
for Sally?
Just in the moment. Live in the
We
moment.
have to. We have to do. Oh, we also. I'm sorry. I've just remembered. We need to please take a video of you selling Toastmasters. And
no, forgot about that. Hey,
yeah, me too.
Let me just take another one just in case.
Oh, thank you. Well done, Sally. Okay. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Best speaker of the evening is Christina! You're winning so many things this week. Your medal.
I might have to do a picture collage of all the photos of you tonight.
Thank you. Well done. Oh, right. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. We have to take 2 because I didn't even give you the prize.
I get another one.
I got so excited. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, well And then, I'm sorry, I wanted to also just mention, Chantal, thank you so much for such amazing table topics and for switching it up, because it's always so fun to do something a little bit different. I know we are all used to the way it's been done, and the new people don't necessarily know it, but it was a really lovely way of doing table topics. And all our participants were just amazing. They all did such a great job. So thank you, Chantal. Is it your first time doing being table topics master? No, can't be.
I think no.
Okay. Second time. Well done. Great job. Right. I would like to check in with our guests. Stephanie, are you still with us? How have you enjoyed the evening? Oh, yay! Hi!
I was definitely there. No, just saved in the bed. It was amazing. Thank you very much. It was a very, I think, a beautiful overview of what Toastmasters night can be. Everything was new: the timekeeper, the grammar, the ums and the ohs and the but yeah, it's definitely. I think I just need to find probably a Toastmaster that's closer to my area. I didn't know that there's a, like coming from Windhoek, everything's only one, whereas in Cape Town everything is times 100. So I just have to probably find a Toastmaster that's close by to me that makes it convenient to go there in person instead of a half-an-hour drive.
I possibly have to disappoint you at this stage because the others are very, very formal and okay, I keep quiet.
Julia is our traveling mascot and she always likes to promote our club. But please do. I think Westlake is a nice club. They seem to say they are the club with heart, but I think we are. But and let us know. And then there's one at Calvin Grove, but that's a little bit out of your way. But Westlake might be a close-ish one. I'm not sure what is around Constantia side. But
Yeah.
I know of Westlake.
Calvin Grove is close.
I think Calvin Grove is probably closest.
Yeah,
closer than Westlake.
the brief. Yeah. No, but she's in Constantia.
Constantia,
I'd say 50-50.
Roundabout Newlands.
Okay, or you can go to Calvin Grove. It's very formal. But yes, you know what? It's what
I prefer more the chilled vibes, the vibe that are going around here, the more fun vibe. I'll go with that. Yeah. Now we don't do. I don't do formal. I mean, I work in tourism, so we don't do formal.
Yeah, exactly. I think go visit some clubs and you'll get a feel for what works for you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for the time that I could join in.
Yes, and maybe next time if you join, you can join Table Topics.
Maybe. Sounds good.
Maybe not. But thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Kwame, you were put on the spot tonight, but you were amazing. You shone bright. What is your takeaway from this evening?
Probably going to put that baby to bed.
Kwame, should I come back to you? Oh, I see you coming. Sorry, are you busy? You on mute?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes. Hello and welcome back.
I'm sure I work with Alicia, so she invited me, and I always take the opportunity to write notes, and I've got like about 50 points here. I don't know where to start, but I've learned so much. I speak a lot, and I think I'm not sure who spoke about focusing on the message, not on what you're saying, because I'm very detail oriented. So I always want to be very accurate in my speech, in my presentations. So I've learned to sort of balance out and flow, and not to be saying arms and the repeats and the souls and all of that. So I think all in all, it's been an amazing evening for me, and I've learned how to tell stories. Christina, I really enjoyed the story. Andrea as well, Eugene, and I've got so many things. I've written down all the feedback in terms of basically trying to pause between your intros and your body and your conclusions. Just too many to enumerate all of them. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I love how diligent you are with all these notes that you've taken. So thank you so much for being with us this evening. Simon, hi. Your wife did an outstanding speech tonight. You could be very proud.
I'd like to thank Christina for inviting me.
Yes.
I'm of much less words than everybody else, so I really enjoyed my time there. And, thank you very much.
And maybe we'll see you again for her next speech.
It's not impossible.
Yay! Sally. Thank you, Simon. Lovely to have you here. Murray, what is your takeaway this evening?
I really enjoyed all the nuggets of wisdom. I think in everyone's speech there was, whether it was a term or a saying or just lots of really valuable nuggets. I mean, I wrote a couple down. But yeah, good reflection. So really enjoyed that. Also took note that slow is better. I wrote here, pauses create impact, as long as your content is good. I think often, personally, I panic and pause. You pause and then you hear it pause, and then you panic. But listening to a couple of you guys speak, pause, and then have an impactful word afterwards makes you realize that the pauses are really good. So thank you. Yeah, really enjoyed it, and look forward to the next one.
Amazing. Thank you. Letting your message land.
Julia would like to see us.
Oh, sorry, Julia. Let me turn you around quickly. How's that? I'll move myself out the way. Great, Murray. Thank you so much. And Jackie, what is your takeaway this evening?
I enjoyed the relaxed atmosphere. I thought that was enjoyable. I love listening to everybody's speeches, and it reminds me constantly, I'm a firm believer in almost every skill can be learned with the correct ingredients. And I was a runner as well. And so I quite liked associating, because I understand how you start from zero and go to hero, and you can actually you can translate that in any sphere of your life as well. So if relating the running and starting from zero, because that's where I started, and then go to hero and come back with an amazing medal, well, you can do that with speaking as well. So
100%.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. So there really is hope for all of us.
I will only be here for 2 more sessions because we move back home, but I will take up the online.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Great. Yay! Oh, thanks, everybody. Thank you to our beautiful online people. It's sad you aren't here in person, but hopefully we'll get to see you in person soon. Our next meeting is the 1st of July. So it's the 1st of July and the 5th of August. Please save those dates. And the next meeting's theme is Elevate, I think. So the 1st of July, Elevate. Love to see everyone writing this down, so thank you. And then just before we say goodbye, I have my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sign-up sheet. It's very colorful. Please, can you, before you leave, come and take a role for next time. I've got 4 speakers. I have got a Toastmaster, but everything else needs filling up. So please take a role, be brave, be courageous, you can do it. And then I am looking for a Toastmaster for the 5th of August. Just to let you know. Just putting it out. Just putting it out there. To Andrea. I'm on holiday. Yeah, you're always on holiday. But thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.
So where are you going?